Have you ever looked at a game like Tarkov or The Cycle and thought, yeah, that looks awesome. I could totally get into that. Then you boot it up and 3 minutes later, you're dead. No clue who shot you, no clue from where. Just the faint sound of your character gasping while some level 70 goblin in night vision steals all your loot. So you try again and again, until you spent more time crying in the stash menu than actually playing the game. But here's the thing, what if there was a game that wasn't miserable? What if there was an extraction shooter that didn't punish you for existing? Well, that game is Arc Raiders.
Doors are closing in 5.
And today, we're diving into why it's the perfect experience for casual players who want the thrill without the trauma. So if you've ever wanted a more chill version of Tarkov, stick around. You're going to like this one. But before we dive deep into why Arc Raiders is so special for casual players, we gotta understand what it actually is. Arc Raiders is its own thing, and it does it very, very well. So, let's set the stage. Arc Raiders takes place in a post-apocalyptic version of our world. Same planet and history, just a different outcome. One day, the Arcs arrived, giant mechanical invaders that tore civilization into pieces and left humanity scattered. You play as a raider, one of the survivors holed up in the last safe zone, a place called Speranza. It's a mix of scrap metal, neon signs, and stubborn hope. And the mission is simple on paper, dangerous in practice. Head up to the surface, gather loot, avoid the killer machines, maybe fend off other raiders, and get back in one piece. Sounds as easy as pie. It's a PvPvE chaos, a mix of survival, scavenging, and shootouts, where every run could be your best haul or your last one. And it nails that atmosphere. Every trip to the surface feels tense, desperate, and cinematic, but never overwhelming. Because unlike most games in the genre, Arc Raiders doesn't want you to fear the fight, it wants you to enjoy it. And that's where the gameplay comes in. Now, I could sit here and talk about it real quick, or I can introduce you to somebody who has more hours than most people combined on this game. So let me introduce you to the person who's probably played it more than you've slept this week, Zach.
I have an unhealthy addiction to this game. Yes, hello. I will be talking over these next few segments because, as Aaron has just said, I have played this game a lot. Maybe a bit too much.
Let's start by getting some sunlight in here. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, we'll start small.
But maybe with my enhanced experience of this game and ludicrous amount of hours, I could help explain why I think Arc Raiders is perfect for casuals. And let's get into exactly why I think that is. Because Arc Raiders does something very different here. Unlike most extraction shooters, the focus isn't actually on the PvP. In fact, the focus on PvP, in my opinion, is rather minimal. So, I mean, if you're the kind of player who doesn't love getting third party by some guy named Bush Sniper every fucking match, good news. The game doesn't live or die on that hill. PvP is still an important component of the game. You will still run into other players and sometimes you'll have to fight them, but it isn't the primary focus. The primary focus in this game, and where the real meat actually is in the PvE. Because the PvE in this game is absolutely no joke at all. They're Arc. And Arc, as we have already established in the story, has already wiped out a majority of humanity. So, no kidding, they're going to be pretty fucking strong. And if you still don't believe that this game has what it takes to make competent AI opponents, allow me to provide you some examples. Let's start small. First things first, you got the Wasps and the Hornets. And at first glance, they don't look that bad. Small little, what looks to be commercial drones that may have a few guns on them, but I mean, sure, my gun's bigger, I'll just shoot it out of the air. Except, they've decided to park themselves behind a building while one of the Hornets go up behind you, tasing you, while the original one that you were focusing now goes around that building and beams you dead before you can even finish the sentence that I'm speaking of right now. Also, if you like my little educational bits, that took a really long time to make, so if you could like and subscribe, that'd be really nice. Anyways, back to the video. Now, you might be wondering, oh gosh, this does seem like quite the difficult thing to have both in a PvE and PvP environment, and that is why there is an option to play nice. You do not have to kill the other person down the hallway to you. You could instead decide that, okay, so these arcs are going to kill me if I'm not careful here. Maybe we can work together and kill them together. And that right there, that is what makes this game so unique. It is a PvPvE game, which gives you choices. You can be a douchebag and kill everyone you see, or you can, through many in-game systems like proximity chat or hell, just a voice wheel that you don't even have to use your own voice. You can just do this without a mic, cooperate with other players, and work together. You don't have to kill everyone you see. There is a bigger threat. There is the arcs, and I just described to you that the lowest tier of arcs and how fucking dangerous they are. Just imagine how bad the big arcs are. You want to work together, and that's what this game is trying to do, which is what makes this game's PvP so much less frustrating. I know you people out there, I'm one of you. I don't like PvP. It always devolves into a meta and it becomes so unfun, and if you dare as much have a life, then you're not competing in any competitive environment without serious investment of time and effort. But this game, you don't need that. Sure, the game will eventually devolve into a meta when it comes to the PvP aspect of it. You will still get those people who will be equipped with some of the most meta shit and will gun you down in a moment and have played this game since day one. That will just ruin your whole day. And hell, you'll even get those people that you're sitting in an extract and then you're extracting with them and then suddenly they gun you down and then you just think to yourself, "You impudent rats! You'll rot in hell, you Philistine mounds of excrement!" And sure, those moments are really fucking annoying, but then you get those really cool moments where you see someone like, don't shoot, and you're like, yeah, sure, let's work together, and there's 3 other dudes behind him, and then you decide, let's go fuck up some of the big arcs. You take down massive robots, and then all of a sudden, you're looting them together, and you get back to Speranza in one piece. You're all cheering at the end, doing a little jig at the end. It's like, hell yeah, you know what? This game ain't so bad. Which makes every fight feel dynamic. You never know if you're going to run into a friendly player or an enemy player. You're going to get up against a bunch of arcs. Are there going to be someone that helps or uses the arcs against you? It makes the game very interesting. And hell, I haven't even started talking about the guns and the gear and the augments and all the type of stuff that goes on Speranza, the traders, the quests. There is a lot to talk about, and I can't get into everything in this video, and I specifically want a lot of you to just experience this game firsthand. Trust me, guys, the less you know, the better this game is. However, there are a few mechanics that I do want to talk about, specifically if you are a casual player. Trust me, guys, you'll want to pay attention to this. This is what really grabbed me into this game. And one of the first mechanics I do want to talk about is the free loadout system. The free loadout system is amazing. If any of you have played Tarkov before, you're gonna immediately recognize this as the scav system from that franchise. Except here it's done a little bit differently. You see, the free loadout system in this game, you can use it whenever you want, however many times you want. No cooldown. And it will give you a random assortment of items. You'll get one common weapon, which can be chosen from either the Rattler, the Pharaoh, the Stitcher, or the Kettle. There's a 5th common weapon, but it isn't in this loot pool. You get a random assortment of consumables, ranging from grenades, heals, to even a defibrillator, which is a really weird looking defibrillator because it looks like a syringe, but I'm no expert. And then you get a shield, and then you get a thing called a free augment, which is the rig that you get, which kind of influences the way your inventory works. The free augment's the only one that doesn't actually have a safe pocket, and I'll explain what a safe pocket is in a moment, but it's very rushed together. The whole free loadout thing is supposed to feel like scrapped parts, but that's the thing, it's free. You don't have to worry about bringing any of your own stuff in. You get given all of this for completely free. And I'll reiterate, it has no cooldown, there's no use limit. If you die with all that stuff, you can just go in with another free loadout and try it again. If you don't feel like risking anything today, you can just keep playing the game with the free loadout and you can just continue to have fun and progress. And what I mean by progress is the second mechanic. You level up in this game. Whether or not you actually extract or not from the match is irrelevant. You will gain experience from primarily looting. like things like scavenging. If you just search a container, you get like 200 XP. You shoot down an arc, you get a decent chunk of XP. You look at the arc's corpse, you get a huge chunk of XP. In fact, killing players has actually earned you very much XP. It's kind of disincentivized, again, what I talked about before, heavily incentivized to work together. And all this XP accumulates at the end of the match, which then can help you level up. And once you level up, you get a skill point, which you can apply to a skill tree. And the skill tree in this game is amazing. There's various little passives and active perks, which actively change the way you play the game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the nodes in the tree are kind of hit or miss. Like, some are really good, like the security breach one, which luckily for me, I shot for immediately from when the game came out, and my god, do I not regret it. But some people also shot for other things, and now they can't reset their character because there is no skill point reset in the game, and a lot of people are kind of upset because a lot of the other skills are trash, but that's a thing for another day. But the point is that whether or not you live or die is irrelevant because you will still progress towards what you want to achieve, and that's why it's so appealing to someone like me, because I don't actually have to come out alive. Maybe I get completely gunned down by some sweat and I don't have a chance to react, but it doesn't matter. I'll still come out with experience and the ability to invest into a skill that may actually assist me in a future battle. And there's one last mechanic I like to talk about. It's the safe pocket mechanic. It's pretty self-explanatory. Anything within that pocket is safe. Not everything has a safe pocket. The only thing that doesn't have it is the free kit. Whenever you go on with the free kit, you don't actually get a safe pocket, which I think is a fair trade-off for the fact that it's free. And not everything can be put in the safe pocket. Like, you can't put guns or shields in the safe pocket. I don't know if there's anything else you can't put in there. You can put most items in the safe pocket and they'll be completely fine. And some of the higher tier augments, like the blue and the purple ones, will give you 2 to 3 safe pockets, so you can have even more stuff in there, which really helps you with always progressing because you can still put things in there. A strategy I like to, it's a little stupid, but I like just going into the raid with just nothing on, and I'll just dart for anything that I want. I'll search everything, and the second I find it, I'll put it into my safe pocket, and then I'll go jump off the nearest cliff and get into the next game. But do you see what I mean? This game is so casual. You do not have to take this game so seriously. Like, I know some of you have seen Tarkov and thought it was kind of fun, but you've seen how seriously you have to take everything in that game and just immediately turn you off. In this game, you are always rewarded for when you play. You're never going to ever waste your time with this game. You're never ever going to go into a raid, lose a bunch of shit, and then always feel like you've just come out with nothing. Don't get me wrong, there is still consequence to dying. You will still lose a lot of valuable stuff when you die, especially if you do bring in a lot of valuable stuff, but you will still gain experience, items, and you'll have fun with the game. So at the very least, you'll get your money's worth of this game. And I know the PvP aspect is a really ugly concept to a lot of people. I know, but I beg you, give it a try, give it an experience, take a look at some videos, and hey, if you get into the game, you have some very negative PvP experiences and it really is dragging your mood down, you're probably still within that refund window. Just refund the game and move on. It is still a PvP game, and if you really don't like that, this might not be for you. But anyways, I've probably been rambling for about 10 minutes now. You guys get the general gist. You understand what I'm saying. I could go on a lot more. I could explain the nitty-gritty details of the gameplay. I mean, there's just so much stuff. There's so much loot to go over, and it's just so much...
I'm back.
Hey, you mother...
Hope that was good to you, Zach. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little insight, and hopefully some of you actually give this game a go. My friend Zach's been loving this game. Maybe a little bit too much, but he's been playing the game in and out, and everything he's told you is pretty much on point, and that this video will be the best it can be for Arc Raiders. So do give it a go, give it a try. You'll most likely enjoy it. And hey, thank you so much for watching, and if you did, please subscribe. And if you enjoy videos like this, why not go check out our most recent video where we talk about other games. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you over on that one as well.